First he had his comic, then he had a cartoon series, now he gets his very own movie. He's big, he's red, he's a dog, he is Clifford the Big Red Dog. Look, I see a lot of animated and family films. Not all of them, mind you, but I do try to see the majority of them when I can. I made mention that I wasn't really looking for. I wasn't Dre's. I'm just gonna adjust my camera here real quick, a little bit. That's better. That's better. I wasn't like dreading it, but I'm like, this is just a cash grab. This doesn't look like it's gonna have anywhere near the charm or heart or something like a Paddington does. But it doesn't look like it's gonna be something as painful as say like a Smurfs, or even Garfield. And their first Garfield at least has a little bit of charm to it. But having sat through it, I'll say this: I've seen far worse from these type of films. This isn't a very good film, but it's far from insulting. I'll even go so far as to say I got a little emotional, only because as a pet owner, specifically dogs, there are scenes involving Clifford that kind of resonated with me. I'm like, okay, damn it, stop making me feel things for a poorly CGI dog. Yeah, I mean, it's at its best, I'll say it's harmless if you wanted to show your kid this. It's the standard trope of the girl who's new in her school. You got the weird relative who's kind of irresponsible. They kind of do a good job making this guy not very likable at first, but you warm up to him a little bit. He learns to be responsible and all that. Then she wants a friend. She can't stand for herself, so she meets a strange person who gives her the dog, Clifford, and he turns into the big red dog. And those shenanigans as the evil corporation wants to get the dog, and the wacky hilarity ensues. Yeah, that's the movie. That is exactly the movie you get, and the movie and the stuff that you're expecting to happen in the movie happens in the movie. But does that make it a bad movie? Well, like any formula is like anything. If you follow the ingredients right with a standard formula, you can still make a very good dish, good result with that. This is not the best pudding I've ever had, not the best apple pie, chocolate cake I've ever had, but it is far from the worst. There are elements I liked in this. The bond between Clifford and I believe the character's name is Emily. That's nice. As a dog owner, I was a little bit of a sucker for that. John Cleese, whenever he's on screen, is just a delight. You can tell this man is just having a little fun, just being quirky and doing what he's saying. The guy's in his 80s now. He can do whatever the hell he wants. He's John freaking Cleese. I'll have you know. Monty Python. But no, absolutely. I mean, the man, it's just, I don't know if it's the accent or just the way he conducts himself. Like, the man is just very charming. And anytime he's on screen, you do get that little bit of mischievous wink. And it's like, you get that. You get the fun of it. And I'll go so far as to say that some of the side characters are actually a lot of the side characters are pretty entertaining. Like the residents of the area, her little, her school friend who's got a crush on her. They're fun. They're fun little characters. They're nothing amazing or, fleshed out, but they don't need to be. And then you get Clifford. And Clifford is a whiplash for me because on one hand, in fact, he's a double whiplash. Because on one hand, they do a really good job of making this dog very cute. Because he is just a puppy. He is just a puppy. In the opening scene he gets separated from his family. And you just feel bad for those puppy. You hear the whimpering and you're like, oh, darn it all. It's like, I want to love you. It's like, I really want to love you. And you get love and all the snuggles and the scritches and stuff like that. If you weren't so poorly animated. It's not Garfield bad, where you don't believe that Garfield's even there, really. But when Clifford is small, before he becomes big, it's some pretty bad CGI. There are points where you see her picking up Clifford, and you can see the gap in her hand where the air's where she's supposed to be holding him, but there's just a gap there. You think, you could get a real dog to substitute for that. I mean, seriously. You know what? you're acting really cute, and as a dog owner, I am eating a little bit of this up. But the problem is, as a moviegoer who's seen a lot of movies, I'm like, this is terrible CGI. It's not god awful. This is for 2021. This is bad CGI. So there's that. But the whiplash comes again because the CGI on Clifford when he's big still isn't the best in the world by any stretch of the means, but is multiple times of an improvement over what he was when he was small, which does make him a lot more endearing after that, because he's still that same puppy, probably only a couple months old, in a giant form now. So it does make some of what he's doing cute, absolutely. There are also some jokes even involving Clifford that I thought I gotta laugh at. I was the only one in the theater. Granted, it was a 7:25 showing of Clifford the Big Red Dog. I have no idea what families are taking their kids to see that movie at that hour. At least on Thursday night screenings. So, there was a couple. There was one joke involving a sheep that I did find I did laugh at that. I'll admit it. But okay, I mean, you take the charminess of Clifford, whether he's bad CGI or not, he's still got a lot of loving personality. John Cleese is always charming. The characters aren't bad. The villain is just stock. And it's just a standard formula that hits and misses in a lot of these places, in a lot of these scenarios. It's all over the map. And that's why I can say wholeheartedly that while I don't really recommend the film, I will say if you were interested in showing your kid this film, and your kid was interested in watching the film, it's perfectly harmless. You'll get enough of it. You'll get enough little smiles, especially if you're a dog lover. If you're a dog lover, you'll get enough smiles out of this to be, guy like, this is nice. My son or daughter's distracted. Yeah, and if you're an older moviegoer and you remember who John Cleese is and all these actors, things like, oh yeah, John Cleese, like John Cleese. So, I mean, look, like I said, I can't personally recommend it. I don't think it's very good, but it's far from the worst thing I've ever seen, especially in this genre of film. So, on that level, it's not god awful. Especially because coming Thanksgiving, which is coming up pretty quick. For Thanksgiving weekend, if you got something to go take your kids to, and you've already seen Encanto, because that comes out in Thanksgiving weekend, then this is perfectly serviceable. And I think that's the best way to put it. It's serviceable. It's not great. It's not bad. It is serviceable. I didn't really get any new trailers. I got Encanto again. I got Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I believe is next week. Looking forward to that. That Rumble, which you've only ever seen one trailer for, is because the pandemic, I think, got postponed. Sorry, I got a haircut earlier today, so I'm still getting the stray hair follicles out of my ear and stuff. There was a couple other ones. There weren't a lot because it's trying to tailor itself to kids. Why am I blanking? I know. I'm blanking on the other ones. It's nothing really astounding. I don't really talk about the trailers that much these days unless something drastic popped up. But yeah, that's all for this week, because as far as I can tell, Belfast isn't getting a screening near me, unfortunately. Even though it's getting a wide release, it's not wide enough. It's wide by this film standard would be like 1,000 to 2,000 screens, which would be impressive, but it doesn't mean it's going to be in every theater, and I don't think it's coming to a theater near me, sadly. So really, it's just going to be Clifford the Big Red Dog this week. That's about it. Who Would Win will be up tomorrow. Then I got What If. Then Sunday is Pokemon teams and box office. It's a standard week this week. Next week is my week of What If, so keep your eyes out for all that. Until then, though, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you've seen Clifford the Big Red Dog, what did you think about it? I thought it was serviceable, fine at best, and complete and forgettable within maybe a couple days at worst. But what did you think? Maybe you loved it. Maybe you got kids and they saw it. Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you later. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. I'll catch you folks tomorrow.